Hey everyone, okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how to do your entire face with one single brush, including using a liquid or cream foundation, then powder, then bronzer, then blusher, the whole thing, one single brush. Now, I'm going to be using my brush, which is brush number 13. This isn't just an endorsement for my brushes, although the links are in the description bar of where to buy them. But you can use any brush you want that's similar to this, which is a dome-shaped brush. What this brush does is gives you a flawless application, but it allows you to go from liquid to powder to do the whole face in a really short amount of time and get the whole thing blended gorgeously. So I'm going to show you how to use this and how I use it. All the products that I'm using are in the description bar below, and you might want to adjust your volume, although I will do my best to make sure that it's all cohesive as possible. So let's make a start. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is taking the brush and applying it directly into the RCMA Foundation, and these come in singles as well as palettes like this. RCMA are great because they have so many different undertones to their foundation. Now I prefer an undertone that has a more neutral or beige undertone because my skin's quite ruddy, and when I use a yellow based foundation I can just look a little bit unwell, and I prefer this sort of foundation. You can see I'm going over the ear as well. What makes this brush great is you can cover large areas in a relatively short amount of time and really buff it into the skin, and this buffing motion is what will make your pores appear really reduced, if not completely invisible, depending on how hard and how long you buff for. I'm going to apply a concealer. It's really actually like a brightener just to the inner corners of the eyes. And I'm going to do the same thing again, which is just buff those areas out because I don't need a lot of coverage under the eyes, and I think if you don't need to use concealer, then don't, and if you do, use the smallest amount possible. Again, in circular motions, I'm just buffing this into the skin and over the eyelid to create a brightening effect because we will powder over these areas as well. So from now, we've just used liquids and creams, but next we're going to take this brush and dip it straight into a powder. Now use a loose powder or a pressed powder, but whichever is your preference. I'm using this one. Take it straight onto the brush. I've not changed the brush, and I'm buffing this into the skin. I'm really concentrating on the T-zone area for myself because I really want to get this area to be shine free and leave the rest of the face a little bit more glowing. So really buffing it in, setting all of the work we've just done. With that complete, we'll move on. You can do your whole face if you prefer, each to their own. I'm just lightly going over mine. With that complete, I'm going to now use a bronzer. I'm applying this around the outside perimeter of the face, and again in this circular buffing motion. Everything is in this kind of round circular motions. It just gives more dimension to the face when you use a bronzer. So I use it across the hairline, the cheeks, and don't forget the neck as well, because you want everything to be kind of blended in and become one with the skin, which looks more realistic than just having a tan face and a white neck. I'm going to take a highlighter now, and I'm applying this to the cheekbone area, right to the cheeks, and then just up into the side of the temple. I think this gives a really nice effect. When the face sort of turns, you get this gorgeous kind of light that reflects around this outside area. I'm going to take whatever is left on the brush and just knock it off on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to buff it in to make sure that everything is blended into one. I'm going to take a blusher now, and this one is a really soft neutral blusher. It's so beautiful, and I'm just applying this up high on my cheekbone area, almost where I placed that highlighter, so the whole thing blends into one. You don't see where the highlighter began and where the blusher began. The whole thing is a melody of color. So buffing that into the face, just to make sure that there's no excess shine. I'm going to apply a little bit more powder down the T-zone area just to really minimize any shine in this area of the face, because this is the place where it looks a little bit greasy. And with that complete, I'm just going to zoom in and out so you can kind of see it in a closer proximity, so you can really see what it looks like. So there you go. We'll zoom in a little bit, and you can see that everything is blended in nicely. There's that glow on the cheek. You don't see where the highlighter begins or the blusher, but everything is in place. And that is how I would use my brush number 13 and how you can use one brush for your entire face. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Videos coming next. Thank you, bye bye.